And we're live. Hello, friends, and welcome to Heslop Tech Talk. It is Joel back with you and my brothers, Joshua and Jeremy. Hey, Joshua and Jeremy. Jeremy, would you like to start off by introducing yourself?
Sure, Jeremy Heslop from number one of the Heslop clan boys,
JA.
JA, owner and operator of OmniTech Pro. We help businesses win with their technology.
Yeah, Joshua?
Yes, Josh Heslop, the cream filling of the Oreo in the Heslop boys, and the best part. And I run Joshua 14 gaming and tech reviews at youtube.com/Joshua14 and Joshua.net.
Yeah. So if you're new to the channel, then you might not have seen these yet, but we do every Thursday is Heslop Tech Talk, and these are my brothers. We're JA, JB, JC, the Heslop 3, and we're just rhyming around the block here. But this is a great little tech talk on Thursdays afternoon. This is a little bit early this week. Got a little bit of scheduling changes, but we talk about a myriad of technology, smartphones and cameras and all kinds of good stuff. So kick things off today. Jeremy, you got a really cool article here about a town in Ohio. What's happening with that?
Yeah, so little town in Licking County, Ohio, had some ransomware that they got on there, which is really easy to get. Trust me, we've had clients that have gotten ransomware, and it's an interesting story because their whole government now, their servers shut down and locked up because somebody decided that they wanted to click on a phishing scam or downloaded some software. So not only is this an interesting story, but it's also a PSA to be very careful. Make sure your computers are up to date and you have the latest antivirus. And it's more also just don't click on stuff that you don't know what it is. If it's an email that you're not familiar with, don't click on it. Use secure software, and don't be like this town and get your whole entire financial stuff locked down and then have to pay the bad guys Bitcoins to get it back. And have good backups.
Wow, that's pretty bonkers. I mean, to have an entire town just get wrecked like that, it's pretty crazy. Oh, hey, Micah, what's up, man? Thank you for joining. So yeah, that's pretty crazy. I can't imagine that. I mean, there's a lot of Nigerian princes that are trying to get your monies, so don't click on their emails.
Yes.
And even if they have millions of dollars that they want to give you, be strong. Be strong.
Yeah, their landline telephones were not available for the whole county system. I mean, it was pretty ridiculous.
How does that even happen?
Well, if all your telephone systems are running off like voice over IP or something like that, and they're all running over a server, and the server just happens to have been fully encrypted, then sorry, but you're toast.
Yeah, that's nuts. Well, moving right along, Joshua, with some computer updates here. What kind of chip news do you got for us?
So we've got AMD with their Ryzen CPU lineup is planning on launching in early March. So
it's on the rise.
Yes. This is from PC World, and plenty of places are talking about it. Basically, AMD's Ryzen CPUs are planning on going toe-to-toe with Intel's offerings, and look like they're going to take on the highest end core chips with the Core i5 and Core i7 with some quad core and I think 8 core as well on the top end. So looks like March 3rd we're going to be getting Ryzen chips, and then possibly in the second half of 2017 we're going to get Vega GPU updates. So very exciting. And so AMD be like rising from the grave, yo. So
got 10 million.
And, is this a good washing machine? No, wait for Ryzen. So all right, well that's
your classic. That's beautiful.
AMD
I like it.
CPU and GPU news for February
Yeah.
2nd, y'all. Groundhog Day.
Oh yeah, Groundhog Day.
Groundhog Day.
Put your little hand in mine.
Over and over.
Killed it.
Yeah, so speaking of rising from the dead, not really rising from the dead, but company Nextbit has been having some ups and downs in their technology space. And they came out with a really cool device called the Nextbit Robin, which was basically this idea that you have 100 gigs of server storage in the cloud. And so it's a 32 gig phone, but then you have 100 gigs in the cloud. And so their idea then was they can have apps and photos and music and everything in the cloud. And then when you need it, it can be brought back on the device internally. But they've had some rocky starts and back and forth with that. And recently they kind of been having fire sales, selling the phone for $150 and just really, really cheap. And it's a pretty solid device. It just didn't really catch on. But what was pretty crazy is now is that Razer has acquired Nextbit. And this is really cool. So this is an article from Android Authority, and they're saying some reasons why they're really excited about Nextbit joining Razer. And a few of the reasons why this is such a cool thing is Nextbit was big in the server space and some of the technology-based space before they were in the phone game. So there's going to be some software synergy that can help them with the overall software of the devices. Then there's going to be some hardware expertise that Razer's going to pop into some new devices, and maybe they have a even better laptop or a phone itself. So who knows if there's going to be a Razer smartphone, or is it going to be a Nextbit phone, quote unquote, designed by Razer, or like this says, maybe a gaming device. This says, remember the Sony Xperia Play, and that was that phone that had a flip out gamepad on the end of it, and so it kind of looked, it was just like a little controller pad. It didn't do well at all, but the idea was pretty cool to have a little controller at the bottom and had a little bit bigger of a battery. So it just was a little too niche and didn't hit it. But man, having Razer kind of enter that smartphone game, maybe it's hard to tell whether they're just gonna kind of gut Nextbit and just use them for their expertise, or if they're going to actually make a smartphone with them or something for the future. So that gets me pretty pumped, because Nextbit had some great ideas and had some cool things, but with a big parent company like Razer backing them in their design and their hardware and software design, I think they could have a really cool device. Do you guys have any thoughts on that? I mean, that'd be sweet.
I think they're going to do a triple screen phone. That's going to be amazing. It's going to be called Project Smallery. So
are you going to steal that one too?
It's going to end up being sold in China for like, 15,000 yen or whatever.
I mean, I see this as a pretty good, logical transition. I mean, you're building, Razer's building all these awesome gaming peripherals and things like that. And they have some support for like, your cloud. I don't know if they have a cloud-based thing, but for setting up your game with their hardware, they have software for that. But if they could, use that for the cloud and be able to have Nextbit come in and essentially build them a full entire cloud system to do that, that just makes sense. And then the other things that Nextbit is doing, like the ID fingerprint sensors and stuff like that. So you could have a mouse that you could just do the fingerprint on, and it'll change the settings based on who's using it. So I can see some synergies between the two companies. Yeah.
Yeah. Anytime they can bring ideas together and have companies like that, like Nextbit had the Robin had a fingerprint sensor on the side of the phone, which is pretty cool. So when you just picked it up, your finger can just easily tap on that fingerprint sensor and unlock your phone, instead of having to flip down to the bottom home button or kind of shimmy your finger up to the back of it. So that's really nice. It wasn't the fastest of all the fingerprint sensors, but it was probably one of the more convenient ones. And we saw that also on some of the Sony Xperia phones as well, which was pretty cool. But I'm looking forward to that. I mean, I wanted to see Nextbit continue to making phones. So who knows if they're going to kind of just be under the umbrella to make another new phone, or if they're just going to go all in with a Razer phone. Either way, I'm kind of excited to
It's pretty cool.
see where they would go. Kind of up in the air. Razer's not too ashamed of throwing some money at things and checking out and trying new things. So, you know, they're getting big. Razer's getting a lot of different space and their hands on a lot of different technology spaces. So I think this will be cool to see. But speaking of some technologies here, Jeremy, what kind of things do you have with this time-lapse camera?
Yeah, so kind of in the vein of last week's do-it-yourself, we talked about the Raspberry Pi hooking up behind a mirror to show kind of like a smart mirror. I saw this, it came across my feeds, and I thought it was pretty cool from DIYphotography.net. And basically, you have a small Arduino, a little module, some memory, and a battery, and you can put this anywhere you want. And they show it how to kind of, this one's on like a tripod mount, but you can make it time lapse or make a spy cam. You know, you can have it in somewhere, you know, that's just doing every 30 seconds or every 10 seconds or something like that. So you could put it in a tree somewhere, put in a box, you know, not have to worry about having a phone or a high-end camera sitting out in the rain and the snow or in the elements. Yeah. So for, you know, relatively cheap, $30 plus a memory card, you know, you're adding everything, writing a little bit of code, and you know it streams right to your you know, if you want to have it stream, you can put a Bluetooth module on there, but otherwise you can just, you know, upload it to your phone or your system and good to go. So I thought it was kind of neat. You know, do it yourself is always fun, and for doing it for super cheap, playing around with something I think is cool technology.
Yeah, I like that. The more and more with Raspberry Pi and all these mods and things like that is the do-it-yourself game for technology is so much more accessible now. It used to be where, you know, you really needed some of these technologies and some of these things you had to purchase and buy it. Otherwise, you weren't really going to be able to get into it. But now with all these new modules and new things that you can really dive in, it doesn't take that much technical knowledge to figure it out. There's a lot of YouTube videos and coding videos and stuff like that on how to pick it up relatively quickly. So I think it's pretty awesome how easy and accessible it is today for some of these technologies.
Yep, definitely.
Yeah, so Josh, you got some Oculus lawsuit trouble here. What's happening with that?
Yeah, so basically there was a lawsuit between ZeniMax, the parent company who owns Bethesda and makes the Elder Scrolls games and everything like that. Basically, a Dallas, Texas jury today awarded $500 million to ZeniMax after finding that Oculus co-founder Palmer Luckey, and by extension Oculus, failed to comply with a non-disclosure agreement that he signed. And so but they also said that they didn't misappropriate trade secrets as contended by ZeniMax. So basically they had some guys, I'm blanking on his name.
John Carmack
was working at ZeniMax and then decided to work for Oculus.
Mm-hmm.
And so ZeniMax is saying, whoa, wait, all that VR tech was ours. And so, yeah, apparently they screwed the pooch there. But so the $500 million is broken up with Palmer Luckey has to pay $50 million, and Brendan Uribe, the CEO or former CEO, I'm not sure, has to pay $150, and then the last, so that's $200. Then the last $300 is coming straight from Oculus's bottom line. So, oh no, it's $200. 50 and 150.
Yeah,
I think.
Either way, it's a chunk.
It's a lot of money. It's a lot of money.
It doesn't Facebook own Oculus now? I mean,
yes, so they can afford it.
I think $1 million is pennies. You know, I mean, really, that was, you know, because Mark Zuckerberg went and testified to say that, you know, Oculus, we came on board, we made sure that nothing was taken, you know, that everything was above board. Yeah. And, you know, he was just in there. He probably knew what was really going on, but he came in there and was like, oh, if I can get away with under $5 million, I'm good. Because wasn't the original lawsuit like $1 billion or something?
It was something like that. So, but the site, the link here is on Polygon if you want to check it out. So, I mean, it's everywhere pretty much. If you just search Oculus Lawsuit, you'll find it. But yeah, I think it's good publicity for them at the same time. So it's like, hey, buy Oculus. We just launched the Touch, and we're just as cool as the Vive. But yeah, I don't know about that, but it's still really cool, and they're doing a lot of cool things. It's just a matter of they just got to get over this hurdle, and hopefully hopefully it doesn't hurt them too much, because I like VR. So keeping the game there, Oculus. I think Facebook's gonna keep it going, obviously.
Yeah, definitely. They're gonna do whatever they can to make it kind of go next level with that. And they're kind of pushing a lot of those, even just VR videos. They're trying to make that bigger on Facebook. You see those in ads a lot, promoted more. So we'll kind of see where that goes with. But speaking of potential lawsuits, actually, the GoPro Karma is actually back in stock now, and it's being back on shelves now. So one of the biggest issues that happened with the Karma was that the battery jam of the drone itself was coming undone often while you were flying. And so you would be, hundreds or however many feet up in the air, and the battery jam would slightly come undone, and your drone would just crash to the ground. And because of this, GoPro did a full recall on all Karma drones. So the Karma hand grip was still fine, and the GoPro Hero 5 was still fine, but the drone itself was recalled. So it just went back in stock yesterday for the first time in months now. So that's kind of good for GoPro. They didn't change anything about the drone, and they didn't change the price, though. So that was a little, I thought for sure they would lower the price a little bit and make it a little bit more, accessible for people. What they did do is they added a Karma Core version that doesn't have the gimbal or controller. So it's like you already had the Karma grip and stuff like that. You can get that version. That's $599. So if you'd already bought those separately. So there's some of the things that you can get that they have more options for you to buy now if you got some of the pieces. But still, I mean, for the same price as a Mavic Pro, basically, when you get it with the GoPro, it's harder to swallow when they don't have as many sensors. So it'd be hard. I'm interested to see kind of what GoPro does with this, if they're going to be a threat again here. I'm not sure, but we'll see. I'm rooting for them. I'm hoping that those will actually kick back again and do pretty well.
Definitely, it's going to be an uphill battle. I mean, they have some pretty stiff competition, but I'm glad for the competition. I mean, DJI is kind of running away with it, so to see some higher end alternatives is good in my book. I mean, to have the GoPro guys come in and a couple different like open source lower to middle end DJI Phantom 4 kind of clones, it only keeps DJI on their toes, I think, just to make sure that they're innovating and making good stuff.
Hey, Unique, the company that I just got my drone from, they have their new Typhoon H is a 6-prop hexacopter, and you can actually have one of their you can actually lose one of the props and it'll still fly. So
nice.
And they actually they have a couple of SKUs that basically they have a FLIR infrared camera for like search and rescue kind of things, which is cool. Like, you don't want to spend, you can't afford to have your own police helicopter or search and rescue helicopter, or they're busy or whatever. You can just fly your drone up and say, hey, I'm going to find little Sally or little Lassie. Come home.
Come on, Lassie. That's legit. I mean, that seems like if the drones are getting more and more commercialized, and the professional drones of old, are easier to get involved now. So that's pretty awesome. Like you said, it's a very steep competition. Unique and DJI are doing a lot of great stuff, and so GoPro. I think the Karma version 2 will kind of be the one to look out for, because I think it'll have more sensors, more integration. They're going to get those. Oh, Josh, is it all messed up? You just muted me. Okay.
Yeah,
Josh,
we're getting your audio is a little screwed up for some reason. I don't know if somebody in the chat wants to pipe in. Is a little garbled.
Well, Jeremy, you want to take over your next article here?
Yeah, sure. So had an article come across from Mashable that's talking about Facebook's new image recognition is getting a little bit better. They're doing some new tricks and things with their. Let me share this page here. You know, they already have you know, face detection and things like that. Well, they're going to start learning what you're wearing. And things like that. So if you're wearing a black shirt, you'll be able to search for, you know, hey, show me the shirts, or show me the pictures that I'm wearing a black shirt, or, you know, or a red dress, or where the people in the image are dancing. So they'll be able to search all the way back through all your old photos and everything, and do more targeted image searches, which at the same time, like, now Facebook knows what you're wearing. Like, oh,
so
you wore that black shirt a lot.
But what if the dress was blue and gold, or if it was, you know, remember that picture of that dress? I think the gold dress may freak out Facebook's algorithms. I think that might be the problem. But so I thought it was interesting that they're advancing some of their platform. They're calling it a general AI platform called FB Learner Flow, and so that's going. I mean, they have a lot of data going through it, and they say that there's 1.2 million AI experiments a month, which is 6 times more than it was a year ago. So they're really getting their machine learning coming along, and their image processing and video processing, and so it'll be interesting to see what they come out with it. If sentient and become the Facebook Skynet, we don't know, but we're coming for you, Google.
What you're saying is Big Brother's watching, right?
Exactly.
Well, that's crazy.
That's interesting, yeah.
Wow. Face brother.
Facebook stalkers.
Yeah, no, that's nuts. But okay, well, one thing that I got coming out, actually, I don't know if my audio is still messed up, guys. I tried to fix it. Is it still jacked?
Still jacked.
Okay, well then I will
hold up your phone and I'll talk about it.
This video is coming out later today. That's all you need to know.
Yes. The Zero Lemon 10,000 milliamp hour battery phone case. So, and Joel's been getting some crazy time with that battery case. So
3 days in running.
It looks awesome. So for not a lot of monies.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, well, guys, anything else that you wanted to cover here?
Just on the 24th of February, I'm going to be I'm going to give you the link, Joel, at the Friendswood Baybrook Mall in Texas here. I'm going to actually be doing a entrepreneurial event, hosting a workshop on how to host your own YouTube channel using Microsoft Surface products. So they said, hey, why don't you come and, you know, show us your setup and play some games and show people how to do YouTube videos. So it's going to be a lot of fun. And we'll put that link up in the description so anybody can check it out. And if you want to come out and meet YouTube's own Joshua 14, then
Microsoft famous.
Exactly. We'll have a good time, and I'm probably going to bring some snacks. So, you know, it's going to be really cool. But
fancy.
Yep. So that's on February 14th. I'm sorry, 24th. It's a Friday. It's not. I know you wanted to bring your date along on the 14th. No, the 24th.
I'll be there.
It's on February 24th at 7 p.m. at the Baybrook Mall Microsoft store. So, all right. Well, that's all for me. Keep it classy.
Awesome. Jeremy, anything for you?
Just be on the lookout for some new videos coming on our OmniTech Pro channel about business technology and how to get better, and some things along the entrepreneur and business owner space. So that's it.
Sweet, guys. Thanks for watching. Wah, 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 apparently. You guys, you have a great day. You, enjoy life. Be awesome. And you keep it classy. Have a good one.